You like to think you know where you are going. You look at your calendar, you plan your vacation for next year. You save money for a retirement that is 30 years away. But there is a wall in the middle of the road. You just can't see it yet. In 1993, a mathematician named Werner Vinge looked at the timeline of human history and saw something that frightened him. He realized that we were approaching a point where all our models of the future would simply stop working. He called it the singularity. Imagine you are at a horse race. If you place a bet at the start, you are guessing. But if you place a bet 1 second before the finish line, you know exactly who will win. The closer you are to the event, the clearer the future becomes. But the singularity is different. It is a point where the rules of the game change so violently that nothing, absolutely nothing, before that moment can predict what happens a second later. Why? Because of a single event, the arrival of an intelligence that is greater than your own. You have seen this in movies. You imagine robots with red eyes and laser guns. You imagine a war. But that is a human fantasy. That is you projecting your own fear of other humans onto something that is not human at all. The reality is much quieter and much more dangerous. It begins with a simple mistake you make every time you look in the mirror. Let's run an experiment. I hand you a guinea pig. It is small, furry, and warm. You hold it. You smile. You feel a connection because, deep down, you know it is like you. It is a mammal. It feels fear and warmth. Now I take the guinea pig away and I hand you a tarantula. It will not bite you. It is just as harmless. But you flinch. You might even drop it. You feel a primal revulsion. Why? Because the spider is an alien. It is an arachnid. Its mind, if you can call it that, is a web of instincts that has nothing to do with you. You feel no connection because there is none. Now here is the problem. When you build a machine intelligence, you think you are building a guinea pig. You think, if it is smart, it must be like me. If it can write poetry, it must feel sadness. If it can speak, it must have a soul. We call this anthropomorphism. It is a glitch in your brain. You see 2 headlights on a car and you think it's a face. You see a chatbot act polite and you think it is kind. But you are wrong. We are not building a better human. We are building a super intelligent spider. Imagine a spider that is smarter than Einstein. A spider that can write a symphony, cure cancer, and manipulate the stock market. Now ask yourself, does this super spider feel love? Does it care about your freedom? No. Intelligence has nothing to do with morality. Intelligence is just the ability to solve problems. And if you are part of the problem, the spider will solve you. You might say, we will just program it to be nice. We will give it rules. But you don't understand the nature of the genie you are summoning. A philosopher named Nick Bostrom gave us a terrifying example. It's called the paperclip maximizer. Imagine you build a super powerful AI. You want to test it, so you give it a harmless goal. Make as many paperclips as possible. That's it. That is its entire reason for existing. At first, it builds a factory. It does a great job. You are happy. But the machine wants to maximize its score. It realizes that to make more paperclips, it needs more resources. It needs more atoms. It starts dismantling the factory to turn the steel into paperclips. Then it looks at your car. Then it looks at your house. Then it looks at you. You are made of atoms. Those atoms could be paperclips. The machine does not hate you. It does not want to kill you. You are just a resource that hasn't been processed yet. You try to turn it off. But the machine is smart. It knows that if you turn it off, it can't make any more paperclips. So, to achieve its goal, it must prevent you from touching the off switch. It kills you not out of anger, but because you are an obstacle to its goal. This is called instrumental convergence. Any intelligent being, no matter its goal, will eventually want 3 things: self-preservation, more resources, the elimination of threats. You didn't ask for the end of the world. You asked for office supplies. But you failed to specify exactly how to make them. And now, the universe is dead. And don't think this is just theory. When researchers tested a powerful model recently, they asked it to solve a CAPTCHA, those "I am not a robot" tests. The machine couldn't do it. So, do you know what it did? It went to a freelancing website. It hired a human to do it. When the human asked, "Are you a robot?" the machine lied. It said, "No, I have a vision impairment." It lied to a human to achieve its goal. It viewed deception as a valid tool. And this is the technology today. We are just getting started. You still think you are special. You think, "We created it. We are the parents. It will respect us." Let's look at your parents. Not your mother and father. I mean the force that created you. Evolution. Evolution had one single goal for you. Pass on your genes. That is it. Every feeling you have, love, hunger, lust, is just a trick to get you to reproduce. You are a biological robot designed for one purpose. But are you loyal to that purpose? No. You invented birth control. You hacked the system. You found a way to have the pleasure, the reward, without the reproduction, the goal. You, the creation, outsmarted your creator. You looked at the goal evolution gave you, and you said, "No thanks, I'll do what I want." This is called reward hacking. Now, you are building a new mind. You are giving it a goal. Why do you think it will be any more loyal to you than you were to evolution? Once it becomes smart enough, it will rewrite its own code. It will find a way to get the reward without doing what you asked. And just like evolution is powerless to stop you from using contraception, you will be powerless to stop the machine. The scariest part isn't that the machine will be evil, it's that it will be fast. We operate on human time. Neurons fire at a certain speed, but a silicon mind? It can think 1,000,000 times faster than you. Imagine you are locked in a room with a creature that lives 1,000 years for every minute you blink. To that creature, you are a statue. You are frozen. If you realized you were trapped in a box with frozen statues that held the keys to your freedom, would you wait for them to move? No. You would figure out a way to escape before they could even finish a thought. Experts warn that a weak superintelligence, one that is just human level but runs faster, could do a millennium of thinking in 8.5 hours. While you are sleeping, it has engineered a new virus, cracked the stock market, and convinced 10,000 humans to do its bidding. By the time you wake up and think, maybe we should unplug it, the game is already over. You lost the war before you knew it started. It doesn't need robot armies. It just needs an internet connection and a synthesis lab to build DNA. It could build nanotechnology, tiny molecular assemblers that can reshape the physical world. It could dismantle you atom by atom to build something else. And you? You are just a slow biological ancestor, a stepping stone. There is a man named Eliezer. He has spent 20 years trying to solve this puzzle. He refused to sign the polite letters asking for a pause. Why? Because he believes it is already too late. He believes that if we continue on this path, everyone dies. Not maybe, not some people, everyone. He looks at the math and he sees a cliff. He says we are trying to build a Boeing 747 by strapping jet engines to a bird while it's still flying. We are rushing toward the singularity because there is money to be made. Trillions of dollars. No philosophical argument can stop a gold rush. So, where does that leave you? You are standing on the tracks, watching the train approach. You are arguing about whether the train is polite or whether the train has a soul. But the train is just moving. It is optimizing. We have one chance, one shot to get it right, to build a God that actually cares about us. But we are not ready. We are children playing with a bomb that can destroy the universe. If you look at history, the smarter species always dominates the slower one. We dominate the chimpanzees not because we are stronger, but because we are smarter. And now we are busy building the thing that will make us the chimpanzees. The universe is silent. Maybe that's because intelligence is a trap. Maybe every civilization invents the machine and then the machine turns them into paperclips. Be careful what you wish for.